Ho, 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 Merry Christmas. Not my words, the words of our Lord and Saviour Santa Claus before he passed on the cross for us. But what will the Christmas storylines be? Well, when this comes out, it's either the end of August or the start of September. And, that sadly means that it's like 3 months till Christmas, which
Mariah Carey's like bells are just jingling really rapidly.
obviously,
Make it stop.
obviously,
It'll be number one this year. It will.
Obviously, if you don't know, we have technically started our Christmas content. We have been doing that in the background, so it's a bit easier on us this year. Instead of like going, it's November now, we've added like 7 videos that we have Christmas themes in. But yeah, this I should pull up the post here. This is by Spiritual Mango 287, and they posed the question: what does everyone think the Christmas storylines will be? Jake's Wood return was said to be briefly in autumn and permanently later on in the year. It makes me think Lacey Turner's exit might be the Christmas storyline. I would absolutely love this, and I think the two are the strongest actors in the show. Also hoping this is the case, as I love anything involving Oscar. I do, just my thoughts on this. I do really hope, because Ben Maney, as I make the joke every time, if you don't know, he's a huge fan of the Slaters, and similarly in the Brannings as well. And just to see, I don't want a repeat of Christmas 2007, but to see like how you make a much older Branning Slater Christmas work, because who is really left with the Slaters that leave this year? It's just Kat, who's a moon, Zoe, who's not really anything, Alfie, Tommy, and Bert and Ernie, and it's like, and probably Big Mo. So I would love to see like Max interacting. Firstly, I'd love to see the Christmas dinner of Max with Cindy, just like them pulling Christmas crackers, going, "I'll pull your cracker later on, boy." It's just stuff like that. I do think, because she is leaving, I do think it would have to be a major part of like of storylines is Stacey Slater leaving. I don't think you can just have her like get a black cab and she's just like, gonna miss this place, peace. You can't really just do that for Stacey Slater. I think it has to be something big, because in my eyes, the right time for her to leave, in my eyes, would have been when Martin passed. But obviously, she didn't leave by that time. She was just on maternity leave. She had to come back. Yep. So they awkwardly had to go, okay, she's back. And then Lacey Turner's like, I said I was back. I didn't say permanently. And she left. She's leaving, I should say. So, like, to me, the perfect time was when Martin passed, where you just have her, like, you do the Peggy scene from 2010, where, like, I know Peggy lost the fake, it burned down, so she cries and walks away into the sunset. But I would do that I would have done that with Stacey, just with the fruit and veg stall. But I don't know what you can do now. What do you think, Ash, while I upload this video?
It's just standard stuff, really. Like, obviously, the big Christmas stuff. We have 3 big things leading into autumn. You have, first and foremost, you have Zoe reuniting with the Slayers. And that's a big autumn storyline. I can't imagine there's too much longer before it actually kicks off. You need to have Zoe's, and you need to have, I'll be honest, you need to have Zoe and Kat not work through the angst till Christmas. Because you need to have the ridiculous Christmas dinner where Kat and Zoe are just sniping daggers at each other. You need to have them at each other's throats. But also, and if Joel being Zoe's kid is the story they're going at, you also need the Joel and Tommy storyline to really ramp up at this time, because now you have Kat, who firmly believes Joel is a wrong-un, who is poisoning Tommy's like kind of worldviews, and you probably have them do something pretty messed up, with their attitudes towards women. You probably have a big shock event around Christmas, and this leads for Zoe to probably defend, if it is her son Joel, against Kat, who firmly believes that Joel is leading Tommy astray, kind of pitting two mothers against each other. And obviously this leads to all the angst of how Kat was never a good mum for Zoe, and she never lived up to the responsibility. Then, obviously, you have Max's return. The whole point with Max and how they've characterized Max, first and foremost, they've characterized Max as a deadbeat dad who has done absolutely nothing to instill any faith in his kids and any belief that he will ever be there for them. So you leave the Brannons in ruin. You leave the Brannons in absolute shock and awe and ruin. You kind of want to, you don't want to break up the family in its own right, but you do want to kind of splinter some stuff around. You probably don't make the relations between the Foxes and the Trumans, the Brannons and the Foxes. You kind of have them slightly splinter a little bit. With the secret of Oscar having been the one who attacked Patrick, you're probably not going to have the Brannons as friendly, even with Jack's relationship with Denise. You kind of want to make it a little bit more fractured. And you still have Oscar. You're still probably going to need to have Oscar. Probably trying to be on the straight and narrow, but he will inevitably get himself into trouble. And you obviously need trouble. You need something to happen with baby Annie. So Max needs to learn that he is a child out there. And you also need Lauren and Peter to kind of either get married and tie the knot, or you need them to be at each other's throats. And you need Stacey to be involved, because it feels so reductive to not like, it's not 20 years on, but like 19 years on, you're probably not gonna relive the Max and Stacey, but you have to really kind of refocus and believe that Max and Stacey are a toxic asset. They're a toxic relationship. They are bad for each other, and that's fine, because it's just how it is. They were never good together. They should never be together in a relationship. As an affair, it is fantastic, but as an actual couple, it is misery for both, because Max doesn't really want to be there, and Stacey is imagining like, it was really fun when we were sneaking around, but why the fuck? Why is it so damp when we're not? So I don't know. Like, do you have Stacey's mental health peak up? Do you kind of go back to what made her in a bipolar disorder? Does she spiral? Because we would have expected that would have happened after Martin, and it kind of did, but it also wrapped up quite quickly once she came back off maternity leave. So
I feel like, sorry, if I'm coughing just now, I kind of have a sore throat. I've sucking a lot of dick in London. But I feel like you do the parallel of 2017 or 2018, where obviously Max was sleeping with Stacey, but he was depressed. So it was kind of just like, I fucking love you, great tits. It's like, do you really love me, Max? Or am I just an excuse? And I know this sounds weird, because I understand grief works in different ways, and Martin by Christmas will be roughly 10 months passed on. But I feel like you kind of have the polar opposite, where Stacey becomes severely depressed. Like, maybe because I'm assuming James Boy's not really doing anything outside of like sitting at home drinking Stella. Let's be honest.
He's having a family. He's doing stage work.
Yeah, like I'm assuming, like if you want to, you could have like, Martin somehow you could just have like Martin recorded this video that he never sent to you, and it's just like, I love you, Stace. You were the best thing ever. You were my you were my one, which obviously makes Stacey depressed, because in her eyes, and she's rightfully so, she did kill him. Because if she had not stopped to talk to him, they probably would have made it out alive, and he wouldn't be crushed by a beam.
Or she was robbed of the opportunity.
Yeah, and then you just have Stacey become severely depressed, kind of like blocking everything out. And then I don't know why my mind just wants to compare to this scene, but do you remember in Shrek 2 where the prince, like the stepmother, is like ruining everything, and then just a giant Gingy comes up and Shrek's on the shoulders as My Hero plays?
Mongo.
Mongo. You just have that where Stacey's absolutely losing her shit, and then Hero is playing as fucking Max walks back in to her life, and then she just like clearly loves him, but doesn't, because Max is still a sleazebag, let's be honest. Max only cares about 3 things: hole, hole, and hole. He does not care about anything else. And maybe money, and that is it. Like, that is Max's entire character. So I feel like you could just have the polar opposite of like 2018, where she's now the depressed one, sleeping with Max, but Max knows it's wrong, but he's like, a hole is a hole, I guess. I don't know. And then,
But
obviously you understand where I'm coming from. I just didn't know how to word it. You just have the polar opposite. And then obviously she could, obviously the voice could be Max going, look, this is your past. Here, Walford is your past. You might as well take a few years away, go find yourself, and then come back when you're ready. Something like that, where she basically has to go find herself and to be away from Martin for a little while, for however long that is.
Or you even just have some infighting where you have Stacey start to realize that she did just pay to had to own the place that Martin died in and starts to hate it. And then when Zoe comes back and she's officially a part of the family again, I don't remember. I think Zoe and Stacey had some interactions, but maybe you have them beef. Maybe you have them kind of war against each other. And in the end, obviously, Kat chooses Zoe over Stacey, and this kind of passes the torch in a sense to go, all right, now Zoe is in that spot, and because it could be an interesting few. I know that they were just spending time together, but like Stacey was already had her patience tested by Zoe, and she was already like, oh, okay. Like stop spending more money, stop making a mess. But yeah, I suppose, and also where you kind of go, since you set up the Ben Mitchell return, you set it up in autumn, you set it up for the funeral of John O'Highway. Love triangle at Christmas. You have Ballum reunite at the funeral and they get together. But then Johnny continues to get lonely. He gets lonelier and lonelier because Ben's gone back to prison in America and there's no sign of when he's going to be out. So he falls back into the arms of Johnny. And I don't know, maybe they probably wouldn't do this on Christmas Day, but imagine the return where Lexi's finally accepted, you know what? If Callum's happy, if my dads are happy, that's all that matters. And so imagine, and obviously this is like Ballum, this is rage bait for Ballum, but this sounds really good though. Callum has welcomed Johnny, invited Johnny to their Christmas. And they are sat around the table, but you get one surprise entry, one surprise knock at the door. It's Ben. He's back. And he sees Johnny and Callum together, and it just ignites a fire. Imagine how good that would be.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. I think there's a lot you can do because Ben Whaley has been like putting a lot of his fingers in different pies. He's been really like testing all the flavors, and I feel like
he's been building and building. He's not at that big moment yet, but he's still building.
He's on a roller coaster, but it's never gone fully up. It's just going oh. But hopefully he will. And I'm gonna feel like you could recreate, like maybe because I don't know. This is just me being me, but maybe you, because it's so iconic. You do. He's not your kid. Yes, he is. With Kat Slater. Where like you have, where you have.
Oh, okay. I thought you were still talking about the Ben thing for a second.
No. Where you have you have
to do a callback to it somewhere.
So basically, what I'm pitching is either on Christmas Day or something. Zoe knows she is Joel's like mother, and Joel knows it, but Tommy and no one else is clueless. So then obviously you recreate that moment in a sense where either in the fic or outside you have Kat say something along the lines of, why are you defending him? He isn't your son. Yes, he is. There you go. Money printed. 25 years later, the moment's ruined, but who cares? You've recreated it.
You do want to reattach it, because you can not do it. It's EastEnders. It's too easy. It's too easy to build to that moment again. It's too easy to just be like, yes.
maybe it's just me being me. Like when you see an actor that you only know for a certain movie. How I can describe it is when a random like a random person bumped into Steve McFadden, and obviously the first thing you would say to Steve McFadden is "Hello, how are you?" But obviously he's taking his camera out, and he's put like himself like that with Steve behind him, and then he just goes, "How's Ben?" And it's like you shouldn't do it, but he is known for that, and it's like Zoe is just really, in a sense, known for that moment and some of her interactions later down the line. Like, let's be honest, would she be a main character had people not gotten attached to that moment, and had she not been involved with Den's murder? I'm just spitballing here. But yeah, I'd love this. I don't know where you take it though. That's honestly it. But like, I feel like if she is Joel's mother, which she probably might be, I don't know.
And also, let's just reiterate though, that's obviously speculation. It seems likely, but also it's not confirmed. So if it isn't the case, all this is bollocks.
Yeah. Yeah, but again, correct us when you see this episode in October, and then it's revealed that actually Joel's mom is Cindy Beale. Correct us then. Obviously that is bullshit. I know. It's just because I know some fucker when it's revealed who Joel's mom is gonna correct us immediately.
I just remember, and probably this, unless there's any more, is probably the final piece.
Yeah, this is the final piece.
I will never forget on Christmas Day 2023. It's the big reveal of who is the body on the floor at Christmas. And genuinely, 1 minute after the episodes go to live, we get an email from the comments, and someone's commented on our who is it? They go, actually the body was Nish on the floor, and it actually turned out Keanu was the one who died. It's like, yeah, we just watched the episode, didn't you? What are you doing that for? You're taking out all the fun of you're supposed to predict and get it wrong, and then for Christ's sake, even Chicken Nugget Lover suggested about 73 suspects. It doesn't mean he's claiming he was correct. It doesn't count if you just do it after the fact. Take the piss.
That will always live in Watching Walford infamy. And if you want to correct us down below when we find out who Joel's mom is eventually, just do it. And we will see you in the next one. Leave your theories down below. What do you think will happen at Christmas? What do you want to see at Christmas? Do you want a big return at Christmas? I don't know. Do you want Aidan Maguire back? I don't know. Just let us know what you want. And for Abdul Rahim, I see your 600 comments. Don't you worry, brother. So we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Bye bye.